We're here because Black GNC lives matter. We're here because Black Femme lives matter. We're here because Black women of all genders matter. We're here because all Black lives matter. As you can see, folks are starting to gather up. We're about to get the music started. There are more people who are in the parking lot across the street in their cars getting lined up for the caravan. Oh, cool, MJ, the interpreter. Hey, hi, MJ. So I just wanted to shout out all of the wonderful folks that have come together to make this happen. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. That's what's up. So we're about to hit the mic in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to walk over and check in on Janetta Johnson, who is the executive director of the Transgender Gender Variant Intersex Justice Project, who will be speaking in a little bit. Right now, we're just chilling. That's Janetta, chilling. Oh, who shall I shout out? Let's see some folks over here. The interpreter's on, the captioner's on. Could you say a little bit about what you're doing here today?
Hi. So today we have the Red for Justice protest. We have the DJs, speakers. We also have a face mask making station, art action station. We have a supplies table.
Yes.
Protest kits. Whole sound system. We got all the goods.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be amazing.
I love it. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you being here. Would you like to share why it's important for both of you to be here? Why?
I mean, it's just our duty as allies. The most important way we can help to affect change and support others who are marginalized is by giving them a platform to share their voices. So this is, really important, this kind of event, to be supporting it and making sure that people, especially like Black, trans, femme, LGBTQ, disabled, formerly incarcerated folks are the voices being centered. That's why we're doing this.
Ashe. Thank you. So one of the things that we need to recognize as being really important is that when we say that Black Lives Matter, we mean all Black Lives Matter. A lot of allies think that whenever they see Black Lives Matter someplace, that means that they're not invited. We actually want you to come. It's important for you to be here. It's important. We have folks who, need to see you. This is not just something that affects us. It affects you. It affects everybody. And so when we're not lifting up the names of all human life, if we've decided that some lives have very little value, then what we're doing is we're starting to corrode our humanity. So I am going to check in. Hey, Laura! Oh my gosh. Okay, we got to do this. See, we're practicing social distance, physical distancing. Hey, Alora's here, babies. If you don't know Alora, we have royalty in the house. Damn. Yes, and so we're practicing physical distancing, but not social distancing. There's a big difference. We're staying socially connected. It's important for us to see each other. It's important for us to also keep each other safe. So you'll see folks are masked up out here. So if you're coming through and you don't have a mask, we do have some folks, as I mentioned, there was the table that we just went to, who are offering people some masks. And if you have some masks to offer, oh my gosh, bring them down. Let's help everyone remain safe. Okay. So we're about to set up the sound system. And I'm going to sign off for a little bit and check in and see how we're doing. Oh, this is so cool. I'm just looking at everything. I'm just being nosy now. See you in a bit. Okay, folks, we're on the Zoom again. We're practicing safe distancing, physical distancing. There you go, 6 feet. Kinfolk, Gorilla Davis, and also I want you to meet someone very special who came here to share with us today. Oh yes, we'll walk over with you. Hey.
I'm MonikaDiamond. I'm going to join some of my colleagues. We're all internal medicine residents.
Yes, Highland Hospital in the house. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you. You know that this is a public health issue. This is a public health issue. It's been for a long time. And I'm so happy that you reached out. Because I know that especially in the Bay Area, physicians, younger physicians, gotta give it up to y'all, have really stepped out and have been doing this for years. I remember the die-ins over at UCSF, where, you know, all of these very young, you know, beginning budding physicians and medical school students decided no more. So I'm so happy that you found us, that you reached out. And can you say something about why you're here and what you're going to be providing?
So, we're internal medicine physicians from Highland Hospital, and we have masks, and we also have hand sanitizer.
They might not be able to hear you, so you might have to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're internal medicine physicians from Highland Hospital, and we're providing masks, and we're also providing hand sanitizer. And the reason why we're doing this is because of the fact that we're still in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic, and particularly for the African American community, it has actually caused a lot of death. And so we are also committed to fighting racial injustice against Black people, especially in light of all of the murders of Black people in the hands of police. So we support all of the victims. We want to make sure that we do it in a safe manner as possible. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Demo. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Can we get a shout out of names, even though we probably can't hear you? We'll start at this side.
I'm Chika Evans.
Thank you.
I'm Virginia Adewale.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Alexander Sandoval.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We expect this to like triple in the next hour. Okay. Thank you. So if you need backup, let us know. Yes. A matter of fact, it would be great if you could set up right there so that people can see, so that you're part of everything that's being offered.
And if we move,
Yes.
can we leave the table there, or what do we do?
Oh yeah, actually, there's someone right here who sort of set up this amazing safety station. So if you want to, we could actually introduce you to them.
Okay. Yeah, because that was one of the concerns. Is like we don't want to set it up and then leave, and then what are we gonna do? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we don't want to
We've
have
got
that
you.
taken from you.
You've got us, so we got you.
No, we're here to
Okay.
show that we support you guys, and we're here to protect you
Oh!
in every sense
Did
of
you
the
hear that?
world.
Did you hear that?
We're here
Did
to
you hear that?
protect you in every sense of the word.
Highland Hospital, y'all. So we are blessed to have physicians from Highland Hospital here who would love to also bring what they have, wonderful PPE, and sort of set up next to you. Is that cool? Let me see if we can grab another. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Hi, honey. Hey, yes. Hi. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we're so glad to be here. There's a group of us over here. I just wanted to touch base and see if you needed us to do anything now, or we're just going to start warming up and we'll be ready for what?
You know what? We love you, and whenever you're ready, boom shake. Come on.
Okay, great.
Boom shake. Woo! Woo! I mean, yeah, if someone could play a little bit, we're about to bring up Janetta Johnson. So I think that would be cool to kind of kick it off with a little bit of drumming just to bring her up. That'll get everyone's attention and let everyone know we're about to do this. Let's say like 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's a gorgeous day out here. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, love. I'm gonna kick it over to the DJ for just a second. We'll be right back. We're about to get started. I'm handing this over to TAC. By the way, Jethro, Catherine, thank you so much for managing the Zoom, managing the YouTube. Will you please make sure that TAC gets access as well? That's TAK. Make sure that TAC has access. Right now, though, can you Zoom? Can you use my phone up? Okay, you all. So we'll be Zooming from my phone. So Catherine, if you could switch over. Oh, they're seeing you in the Zoom. Boom shake. Boom shake. We come like fuckers, y'all. They don't know. They have no idea. Give it up for Boom Shake. So when we gather in a circle, it's really important. So we brought, break. All right, everybody. Today, to kick us off, because today what we're going to be doing is celebrating here. This Art and Action Caravan is happening here, but it's also happening all along the lake. On the other side, just behind you, we have over 150 cars that are starting to amass. We are rolling for Black trans, Black GNC, Black gender, non-conforming, Black non-binary, Black femmes of all genders, Black women of all genders, and for our lives. And you know what happens when we come to protest? We make it a damn party, y'all. It's gonna be a party. So we have DJs, we have this amazing artist collective run by Gorilla Davis, who is over there hooking up the sound. We are the ones, give it up to, we are the ones. I am Ken, folks. I always forget to say who the heck I am. And also I wanted to point to David. David Johnson is one of the reasons why this is even happening. David came into the Queer Healing Arts Center, where he's the program director, I am, and Gorillas. and David was mad as hell. David was so, I've never seen David that mad. David is such a peaceful person. And I was like, what's up, David? David's like, nobody's speaking. Nobody's saying anything. So we put our heads together and I'm like, well, I'm sure that other people feel the same way. So thank you for coming up and honoring this truth, coming out and being in community today. Before we get started, I wanted to point out that we have the executive director of the transgender, gender variant, intersex. I know, I just need to say something that's on my heart for a hot second. For years, I've seen people like Janetta, like Miss Major, make the way for all of us. When we celebrate Pride, I'm one of the founding board members of Vote for Pride, y'all. Pushed us out. But nature had another thing coming, because guess what? Nobody's getting on the streets anymore other than those who have always been on the street. So today we're not frightened. We are out here standing up, and we're so happy to have Janetta Louise Johnson, the executive director of Transgender, Gender Variant, Intersex Justice Project, here to kick it off and tell us why the heck we need to continue to do this work.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see that everybody is practicing their rendition of what does it mean to be PPE protected while at this event. I'm very happy and excited to see all the beautiful faces that are here. And yes, I am the executive director at TGIJP, which stands for Transgender, Gender Variant, Intersex Justice Project. And we're located in San Francisco, California at 1349 Mission Street. And we're an organization that serves, supports, and protects and try to create a safe space for trans people to be, specifically trans people that are coming out of jails and prisons and locked facilities. And I remember processing on like, how are we gonna support trans people coming out of jails and prison, and how are we gonna create the opportunities for sustainability, and how are we gonna convince people that when trans people come out, they need jobs so that they can create better sustainable lives and create the opportunities that they need to reduce their risk from recidivism and support them in like opportunities. And that's when we made the decision that we were going to create the jobs within our organizations and create the opportunity for leadership development and training and all these different things that come with a paycheck. So the trans people that we work with coming out have immediate access to employment opportunities and leadership development. And I think this is a good platform for me right now because I'm very angry, and I'm very angry about a lot of the things that are happening to Black women, girls, femmes, and all the violence that's been perpetuated on it. And I'm also very angry because it's been my experience. I've had a lot of non-Black leadership, cis white led organizations approach me and ask me telling me that they want to do a fundraiser for Black trans women, femmes, and all these things. But they're also saying that we want to fundraise for you. We want to help Black trans lives, but they want to fundraise and split the money. No, if you're supporting Black lives, you don't split no money, period. You don't, you know? And I'm upset because I feel like right now, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things going on because TJP has been really, really trying to make sure that the almost 30 Black, trans, queer, femmes, and a couple of their partners who have been chronically homeless is housed beyond COVID. And it's like, I don't have time to argue with them because we have close to 30 people in different hotels and shelter in place. And and if you listen to any quotes that I've listened to a quote that I've made many, many years ago, and I usually always say it, that I've always feared that if there's ever a national pandemic, how will the Black trans community be served? How will they make sure that they get the information and resources that they need? How will we make sure that they feel protected and included in whatever safety measures that needs to be taken in order to make sure that people can make informed decisions? And and we're here now in this pandemic, and it's been my experience. There's been very little um, concern, specifically my experience in San Francisco, about making sure that Black trans femmes, women, and sex workers, and all these different marginalized groups are served. And so PIJP didn't exactly have a budget, but we made a decision that we were not going to let these people go back to the street at the end of this epidemic. And I called on to my board members, I called all my directors, and I'm like, hey, check this out. This is not what's going to happen. These people will not go back to the street. We will work our ass off tirelessly day in and day out to make sure that they are housed. And I said, stop looking at our bank account and look at our faith and look at our ability to really like be intentional about making sure that we get the needs met of Black, trans, gender non-conforming, femme, trans people, queer and trans people. And it's been a lot of work, and I am extremely tired. My team is extremely tired, but we did manage to get housing, permanent housing, for all 28, close to 30 of the people that we have. And we will actually be housing them in their own units this week coming up. And we're still not out of the woods because we're going to need a lot of support because we've only got subsidies to sustain them for 3 months to subsidize rent according to their income. But I'm just like really keeping the faith that, especially right now, we should really be invested in all Black lives. And we also got to take care of our women, our queer, femme, female, all gender female identified folks, and make sure that they are being taken care of and they're safe during this movement for Black lives, during this COVID-19, and um, and the disappointment for me is for the GLBT Historical Society to send me an email and say, Janetta, we want you to speak on a panel for about an hour and a half. And they say, we will give you $30. It cost me $30 to get there, and it's just, I just feel like right now in the pandemic, a lot of people are trying to capitalize off of Black lives that are not Black people. And it's disturbing, it's disgusting. And I feel like people are saying, Janetta, you don't need to be like so harsh when you share this, when you say, like people suggesting that I do that. It feels very frustrating for me. And I feel like I'm not really supported, and I really don't even have the time to have those conversations with them. So I don't have time to go into long dialogue because we have so many people that we're holding at our have been chronically homeless and has been shut out of housing for various reasons. You know, having an eviction can shut you out for 7 years. You know, having one eviction on your housing. So a lot of the people have been shut out of housing because they've had a previous eviction. But it's to me, it's about creating safe spaces for queer, trans, you know, femmes to have safe places to be and have safe access to opportunities without being um, in violent situations, you know. And I think it's important that we realize that there's a lot that's happening that feels very uncomfortable for a lot of Black people right now, you know, on top of COVID-19. Like there's a triple pandemic that's happening right now. Black men are being murdered, Black trans women are being murdered, Black people are being murdered. And it's just a really scary experience when you are a trans femme, um, queer person, and you wake up every morning and you wake up and you wonder if it's safe to walk out your door. You know what I mean? But you have to go to work. There's so many things that you have to do in order to create the sustainability that we need. And I think that it's most important to invest in opportunities to support and figure out what that looks like for everybody, um, individually and collectively. I feel like there should be a lot more organizing to support Black, trans, femme, and queer people. And this is the moment and the time now, and that's what we should be working towards. And um, I'm kind of tired of like people calling me and ask me what can they do, and then when I tell them what they can do, they don't do it. And it doesn't even mean it doesn't even. I'm not asking them not even for money. I'm just asking them to show up in some ways that support Black, trans, queer, femme people, and those are the challenges I face. I am an executive director. I am on the front lines. I am visiting all these hotels and having to negotiate with these people why they should let these trans people in these hotels. We're paying them to, we're paying for the hotels, but if a trans person does not fit the aesthetics, they get denied access to a safe place to be. And that's been like part of my work. Every Tuesday, I have to place about 30 trans people in different hotels. And it's an all day process because we will book them into a room. And as soon as we get there and see that their ID does not match their presentation, they get denied access. That's the that's the discrimination that I feel like we've been experiencing through this pandemic, and it's specifically as we talk about, you know, all the protests and marches that are going on in the city and in various cities. People are more and more afraid. Black trans people in my work trying to keep people in safe places and it's just been very tiring and exhausting. I feel like I have to work 5 times harder than uh, non-Black executive directors. While they're at home in their robes um, and shelter in placing and haven't been out, I have been out every day to make sure that trans people get access to food, get access to things that they need, and supporting sex workers who are not doing any business because there is business because of the pandemic. And it's just been a lot of work. Um and with little, I mean, it's just like I don't feel like right now I don't so support that I need. And um and it's important that I do that because um I'm leading an organization for people that are struggling in ways that some of us might not be right now. And um and I'm exhausted. I'm extremely exhausted. Um so I'm going to introduce y'all to one of our members, who is Jasmine Jones, who is a Black trans woman who just recently got out of prison. And that has been a challenge because usually when trans people get out of prison, especially if they spend a long term in prison, we usually give them like big, beautiful bouquets of flowers. But when Jasmine got out, we had to give her a mask, glove, hand sanitizers, and just having people come out of jails and prison at this time, and the panic and the anxiety and just seeing all the different things that they experience, like, and uh but we've been very fortunate that uh through all challenges we've been able to house people coming directly out of prison. And I think that's why our work is so important and so rewarding for the world, so that these people can um, come out in a safe way where they have some type of sustainability. So I'm just gonna ask Jasmine to come over and give her the mic and let her speak.
So how y'all doing? So for mostly for me, I just want to speak on more or less about the girls that's inside, because that's what I relate to for the last 17 years inside. And those girls in there are really, really in need of support. They're going through a lot of injustice. They don't get housed right, or when they get housed with guys that are really predatory. And we're not asking for a whole lot, but just be moved into a cell that we can relive with someone that respects us. And I started an organization back in 2009 that deals with transgenders, that help us stand against all violence that deals with prisoners. And we had a lot of resistance. We had a lot of assaults on us. We had a lot of punishments that was undue to us. And so some of them was going through so much trauma that they was getting assaulted, we was getting beat up, we was getting harassed in a major way. And so I started to stand to the front line of everything. I came out and I said, well, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start protesting everything that deals with violence against anybody that's gay, transgender, bisexual. It didn't even matter. And we went to the front lines and we stood against all aspects of violence. And all of my sisters that sitting there, all of my brothers that sitting there, we went through a lot. I was in our shoes. I was getting harassed. I was getting unnecessary pat downs, unnecessary cell searches. And so we didn't have no support. There was really no one to support us. But there was only one organization that I dealt with, and that was TGIJP. And I've been dealing with them since 2007. And throughout those years, we have dialogued on so many policies, so many changes that have at some point come to help the transgender population within prison system. Because it's just not about the transgender population. It's not that. It's the Black transgender population. Because everybody don't have the opportunities that They have. I mean, and like for black trans in prisons, they go through so much stereotypes to where if you don't know what your history is, then you're not going to really know what's going on in your life. And so I try to teach them, and I try to embrace them, and I try to bring them into a better way of life, like helping them file 602s, which are complaints, and helping them file writs of habeas corpus, because that's what I specialize. I specialize in legal law, and a lot of times I used to get so much harassed for just filing a 602. And so when we deal with girls in prisons that don't have the resources to really get the basic necessities, hygienes and things of that nature, it's kind of hurtful because then they resort to sex work. And that here, as we all know, goes against us anyway because the police going to happen to come mess with us and tear ourselves up and all that too. And so we try to bring all of them. And what the Red Roses did, which is the organization that started, we brought all of them together, and I try to make them understand that look, this is not about violence. It's about trying to get what we got coming. And that fight is a hard fight in prison for girls. It's a very hard fight because a lot of times the officers they're not really trying to hear what you got to say. They don't care, and it's always our fault. I don't care what you get into it in there about. It's always your fault. And we had an incident about 2 weeks ago. Where I had a couple of phone calls at TGIJP, and they was talking to the extent where there was two girls who had got raped, assaulted, and really just beat up bad. And throughout this, they was telling me that the officers had no concern for their well-being. They was actually saying that they blamed them for being who they were and contributing to the violence of them. And to me, I think that's absurd right there because there's no way you should be blamed for who you are as a person because this predator want to attack you. And so that's what we go through in prison. We go through that a lot in there. And I came out with one objective, and that was to help every transgender, every gay person that lives under that rainbow to get out of prison. And so far, we're helped get 3 people out. And it's not an easy fight. It's a stressful fight, but it's a worthwhile fight because if I had anything, the prison doors would be open for all rainbow people to come out of there. And when I think about what TGIJP has offered me myself, and I've only been out 33 days, but the opportunities that I've been offered and the way we function as a family more so is tremendous. And it's really sad when I go out here and I interact with the girls or the gays on the street and I see so many of them not having nowhere to go, like just nowhere to go. And so when Janetta speaks to the hard work and the everyday struggle to put these girls in these rooms, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And I didn't know how hard it was until I've been out there to really with her to see just how hard it is. And it's not that we don't deserve it. It's just that these people in these motel rooms or these places that we're trying to house them at just won't accept them because of who we are. And so we need to bond together on that level alone because everybody deserves housing in this pandemic. Everybody deserves somewhere to go. You know. And so in my fight, in my whole struggle with TGIJP, I'm gonna always stand firm for what I believe in. Janetta supports me in every endeavor I have, and the family they're very supportive of what I bring to the table. And I think we all, as a whole, need to just support these black trans women coming out of prison where they have somewhere to go, where they have some type of training in where we can get into the work field and integrate ourselves in a way where we don't be subjected to going back to the streets and going back to what we know best. And we don't have enough of that support out here. We don't. We don't have enough support out here. I had absolutely one organization get at me, and that was CGIJP, that offered employment, that offered a job, and that offer stability for me when I get out. And we do that with all the girls. We've housed so many. And so we need to support them girls coming out of there because they come out here and they be on the streets again, they be homeless, and they got nowhere to go. And the only thing they're going to end up back in prison. And we don't want to see them in there because it's not a pretty place for no trans person to be at. So that's really all I had to say on more so on that level. And I love you all, and I hope we all stay safe.
Please give it up for Jasmine, please. Before we start, I got some announcements I need to make. We need some money in here for the Queer Arts Center and for the Black trans women who are here. So please put your money in here if you have some to share. Who got money to share to put in here? What about Venmo? Venmo, yes, we'll get that info to you really soon. The car caravan is about to start. So if you are going to be in the car caravan, please get your posters, get some tape, and head over, and they're going to start really shortly. And tune into FM station 88.3? 88.3. Everything that is being broadcasted here is going to be on 88.3 FM.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Just so you know, we do have doctors from Highland Doctors to my left, your right. And we also have free water. We have protest kits with personal protection equipment, snacks, and we also have some fruit. And those are free. But we are encouraging people to donate because all of the donations are going straight to the organizers of this event, who are Black, trans, LGBTQ, formerly incarcerated. Y'all know. So thank you.
Hi, we're the doctors from Highland Hospital, and we just wanted to let you guys know that we're here to protect you. And we have masks and hand sanitizers, and we also have gloves. Once again, we are here because we support you, and we're here to keep you safe. Thank you for having us.
So just so you know, to my left is where the doctors and the supplies are. You're right. Okay, thank you.
I got another announcement. Zach Endozo, will you please stand up? Zach Endozo is leading a really large scale banner effort. He's right there. Lift the fabric up, the red fabric. Show us the fabric. He's right there. He's right there. Thank you. And then also we got some blank white tees, the Pro Club heavyweight tees, high premium tees. If someone can spray paint some messages on that, we'd love to see that. I've been to so many actions in this past week. It's been so stressful to be there. As a Black person, I haven't always felt supported by the allies who are there. And I feel like it's important, especially if you're a white person and a non-Black ally, to make sure that you are supporting Black people and however they need support right now. If they want to go to action, if they need to stay home, if they need food, if they need money, reparations and the revolution starts with you. We cannot wait for the system to give us what we need. We need to take it back and start with ourselves. We got to do it with the Black people we know in our lives, the Black people in our family, the Black people in our community, the Black people in our organization, the Black people in our museums. Everywhere, we got to uplift and support Black leadership as much as possible. Whose lives matter? No. Black, trans, queer, femme, disabled people have been left out of this movement. Our uprising, we've been fighting for so long. Capitalism is falling, and here we are. Whose lives matter? All Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Louder, whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? This morning, they found 3 more trans people who were murdered. Let's please just have a moment of silence for that. We are here today to raise visibility of the most marginalized people in our community. That's Black trans people, Black queer people, Black disabled people, formerly and currently incarcerated people. At all the movements I've been to, they have not been mentioned, they have not been named. There were actions last Friday on BreonnaTaylor's birthday with not even mentioning her name. We're here today to raise visibility and demand that we are included in this uprising. We're here making signs. We got music. This shit is being broadcasted. We got ASL interpretation. We got closed caption interpretation for disabled people and our people at home who can't make it. We are including everyone in this movement, and the larger people in this movement, the organizations, the other leaders, we are demanding that you include us in these actions. Where the drummers at? Can we get some drumming, please? Where the drummers at? Let's go. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? All Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Thank you so much, everyone. So this action there's another action planned at the same time. It's a Black Lives Matter art action that we didn't know until yesterday was happening here at the same time. And we are merging these events and we're here in solidarity together. I just want to give it up to Shy White, who is organizing that.
Hey everyone, just wanted to say thank you for coming out, supporting this event. There's two separate events going on, like Gorilla mentioned before. There's the Black Lives Matter Arts fundraiser, as well as the one these guys are putting on. And we collaborated yesterday. We saw we had the same space and the same time reserved. They were very receptive to combining visions with ours and just putting on a giant art display for everyone to come take and make art. Behind you, we have all the supplies to make arts and signs and crafts. We also have spray paints, acrylic paints, anything you need to make a sign just to support any movement as far as Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ actions, as well as anything that you could think of that goes along with this movement. We have a website, the BLM Art Fundraiser, listed on the paper where we have a list of organizations who we support. We would really appreciate it if you would donate directly to these organizations. We are not accepting donations today ourselves. We want to direct you directly to these platforms, or you could give them your money, give them your support. We just want to do this to support the world, the organizations that we have listed, the whole entire movement. Thank you for coming out today. We really appreciate it, and we're so glad that everyone out here today is in support of the same movement. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? No justice? No justice?
Running. Come on, wake up. Wake up. Wake the fuck up. All Black lives matter. Period. Period. All Black lives matter. Black queer lives, Black trans lives, non-binary, Black lives, all Black lives matter. We need people to wake up. Wake up, world. This is not a trend. We are not a fad. We are not accessories. Do not use this for DP or bingo. Our slogan is our goals. You know, here, now, all of that. It's time. That's to do. Period. We are not a trend. Do not let this be a trend, because it's not a trend. It's not something that you can get over in a day, or a week, or a month, or a year. This needs to continue to go on endlessly. Period.
Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Fuck the police.
Give it up for these drummers, please.
Hey everyone, we're gonna go around the lake 5 times. Just pay attention to the red truck, and if you are in a car, we want you to honk all the way. Just keep honking. So we're gonna go around the lake 5 times, and pay attention to the red truck when we start to move.
Okay, no, I'm gonna go with her. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hey y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. All right. Can we get some noise? Get some noise. Can we get a round of applause for everyone who's here, please? I just want to say this was not planned. This collaboration between these two important and valuable components to Black Oakland, Black Bay Area. It happened. No one had an idea this was going to be planned. And guess what we did? We created a coalition on the drop of a fucking hat, and we made it happen. We do not need to have a lot of media. Are you okay, baby? Okay. So it's just like, I think this is a beautiful example of folks recognizing that although our focuses might not be the same exact thing at this moment, we are all united. All united. Period. Okay. Well, my name is Levi Maxwell. I'm a community advocate and activist. I mostly focus on homeless and refugee LGBT youth, mostly of color, in San Francisco and Oakland. But I also wanted to drop by here to remind folks that trans people and black trans people and Black gay people exist outside of martyrdom. That you can celebrate us while we are here. Remember that we exist and we are amongst you. We have been here. Peter Swally / Mary Jones in 1837 was arrested in New York City for being a Black trans woman, organizing communities of Black trans folks. There's another person by the name of Swan. He was an ex-slave who is the first known person to identify themselves as a drag queen, was known as the Queen in Washington, D.C. in the late 1900s. He was unjustifiably arrested for expressing themselves and engaging in community, and they are the first ever gay person to demand the freedom to associate in 1897. Understand that gay liberation would not exist without Black people. Understand that the civil rights movement would not happen without James Baldwin, would not have happened without a number of Black intellectuals and creators. Audre Lorde would not be able to, sorry. There's so many people, so many components, so many lives that have been lost through history, intentional or not, by people who are Black and who do not feel that homosexuality has a place in our history and culture. Does not believe that transness has no place in our culture. And we have to remind them today that without us, there would be none of this today. And thank you. Sorry, I'm gonna end this. Let me know if I'm ranting or not. But I just wanna remind, I want y'all to be aware of that as y'all march. It doesn't matter if you can't march all 5 times. It does not matter if you can march here 10 times. It does not matter if you leave immediately or during this talk. But know that by being here right now, you are remembering the lives of those we lost and cherishing the people who are around us today and who will be here in the future. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
All right, you go down there. Sorry. Hi, everybody. It's a beautiful day. My name is Brandy. I am Black and Puerto Rican trans woman. I've been in Oakland since 2007. I remember marching for Oscar Grant. I remember Occupy, all of the stuff. For 13 years, I've been in the streets marching and shouting and raging, and what the fuck has changed? Nothing. We have a city that is the city of Oakland, and it's not serving the people of Oakland. And so I say, city of Oakland, meet the people of Oakland. The queer, the brown, the black, everybody who's not being fucking heard for all these years. We're pissed off. And what are we gonna do about it? I came up with some ideas because, I'm a Black trans woman, I'm gonna have ideas. So, I thought, well, first of all, we gotta defund those police. We all agree with that. Our tax dollars are going to our own oppression. Our budget, our general fund has $680 million for 2020-21, and 300 of that is for the police. Meanwhile, our parks, recreation, and youth development is a single line item on the budget for $600,000. What are we gonna do about this? Get rid of those. We can take away so much of that money from the police and put it into us. Invest in Oakland, the people. The people are Oakland. So we're dealing with home ownership crisis where we can't own our homes. Everything's being bought up by these management companies who rent it out. They split up these houses into little units, and then basically the people who've been there for years end up either out of Oakland completely or on the street. And it was our money, our tax dollars that put those incentives in the first place. So they're using our money to kick us out of Oakland. This stuff has to change. We need to incentivize people to be able to buy, not by companies, but by people who are going to live there and have stable communities that can grow. And then Black and brown people can actually have wealth, because we know home ownership is the #1 way that we can build wealth and change this shit, because nobody's going to come do it for us. Rent control, we do things like we put in rent control in this city. Is it controlling rent? I don't think so. Why is rent control only based on what goes up? Rent control is supposed to keep things affordable, so it should be based on what the average income of the people is, so that people can afford to stay in their neighborhoods and landlords can't jack up the prices so that we're all kicked out. I live in West Oakland, which is ground zero for gentrification. I decided yesterday I'm gonna run for city council, District 3. But that's not enough. That's not enough. We have districts 1, 3, 5, 7 in the at-large seat available. We can have the Council of the People form right now. Get our people together, put together an agenda in November, elect 5 people who will have a majority on the council and do what the people want. Have the people, we're in the streets, we're angry, we're fighting. I'm inviting people to join me. It's just me, I had this crazy idea. We can do this if we really want to. Do you want to change the city? Then we gotta take it over. We need to take over the city. The people of Oakland are going to take over the city of Oakland. Who's with me? Who's with me? I'm Brandy Haskins. I'm running for District 3 to get rid of McElhaney. Thank you. If you want to help, come find me, because I need all the help I can get.
be able to move. Yeah. Okay. So, just so you know, the wireless, we're having issues with it cutting out traffic. Is that okay? Yeah, well, I can work with this. Can you work with that? I'll turn it up when you start talking. How y'all doing? Okay, we're gonna move a little bit. Kind of need to clear the space for some of the dancers. For those who don't know me, my name is David. I'm a born and raised Oakland native. Today, I want to share with you guys a different element that's a part of the LGBT community that doesn't get talked about. How many of you, just a show of hands, are familiar with whacking and punking? Nice, nice. Well, for those who don't know, 2 days ago, we lost our godfather, Tyrone Proctor, who was pioneer part of the whacking movement. The whacking movement, and why we want to share it with you guys today, which pioneered out of the disco era, was a dance and a culture that came out of oppression. And the pioneers who are no longer here were victims of the AIDS epidemic. Whacking and punking culture was a way of coming out. It is a sister style to what you guys know as voguing. It started here on the West Coast in the gay clubs of LA. Also, like Julian said, it's important, like as far as why I'm here as a Black femme, and why I'm here celebrating with you guys, understand, we make your favorite stars look good. We are the choreographers. We are the stylists. You love Beyonce, we make Beyonce look good. And it's disturbing to look at a video, seeing my own people hurting and beating one another, seeing my people attacking us, whether it's Black, queer, trans, whether it's Femme, we all have to understand that we're in this fight together. And until we do that, we can't get the change that we need. And our allies on all levels need to understand that change has to consist everyone. Because if you're not, you're just going for privilege. So without further ado, I want my whackers to come on up. We're gonna move a little bit. We're gonna share a little bit of whacking culture with you. Space on out. Facing me. So we're gonna do a small little demonstration just with the arms. And in honor of Tyrone Proctor, we're gonna give you the Soul Train thing.
So we're just gonna show you how a little bit of whacking is done. So I'm gonna get y'all just moving in your bodies. You guys just follow with me. And if you feel like dancing, get on up. This is a celebration. This is not just a demonstration, this is a celebration. So DJ, what you got for me? DJ, what you got for me? Give me that Soul Train beat. MSTOP. Tempo is fine, it's just not the song. Okay, so here we gonna work it. My dancers, we ready? Slow it down just a little bit. What you got? Gonna take it from side to side with the arms. Here we go. Right on. Up. Come on. Give me some energy, Jay. Out. Switch arms. Hold on. Take it from side to side. Up. Other side. Keep it going. Hold on. Mix it up for me. DJ, turn it down just a little bit. Turn it down just a bit. So, we about to do a little something for you. See, James took it away already. Dancers, face the audience. We're gonna get a little session going. I'm gonna put this mic down, and you're gonna see what whacking and punking looks like. Make sure you throw some poses in there. But one element, the key element to whacking, brought to you by DJ Michelangelo, rest in peace. To get the whackers, he sped up the music. You do that? Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being with us. And again, please support LGBTQ communities. Please support the Black trans communities. We don't have allies, we have family. And family speaks up for each other. Thank you.
Up next, we have DJ Blossom. This is my daughter. I'm a father of Neural Disorder, which is an all-trans DJ collective that was started by Jasmine Infinity. She's in New York. She couldn't be with us here today. We tried to get her out. She sends her love. And this is the newest member to our collective and our family, DJ Blossom. This is gonna be her debut set as a Neural Disorder member. So please give it up.
Was made strong by the
Hello? Can someone with the umbrella please bring it over here, please? The umbrella, parasol. We can't see the screen. Thank you.
Hey, quick announcement. The carcade will wrap around the lake at Madison Street to 14th and take a left on 14th toward the lake. Again, the carcade will wrap around the lake at Madison Street to 14th and take a left on 14th toward the lake.
This is DJ Blossom from New World Disorder, y'all. I need someone who's on the event organizing team in the Signal group. I need someone, an event lead in the Signal group. Please come here, please. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so we're out here. It's been amazing. Our last count, there were like 400 cars. Now people are like, look at this. Look at this. Yes! That was our lead car right there. Stop killing Black lives. And meanwhile, at the amphitheater, you already know there's so much happening, so many yummy things. This is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Hello, sorry, quick announcement. So for consideration of the safety of the people, we did not plan to have a physical walking march with the car caravan. However, a lot of people want to march. So if anyone wants to march, somewhat y'all can meet somewhere like behind here and self-organize and lead that. If people want to march, y'all can self-organize and lead that. Make it happen if we want to. We got the power. We got the power. If people want to march, make it happen. Come back here and organize it. We got you. We love you. We all here together. Thank you. Also, if anyone has a radio, if anyone's listening at home, 81.3, 88.3. This broadcast is live on 88.3 FM. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's so many cars that the cars have wrapped around the entire lake twice. So we have two circles of cars around Lake Merritt right now. This is absolutely beautiful. Families are out here. Babies are out here. The babies are out here in baby strollers, and they're over on the other side dancing. Mama Major, we love you. Janetta, we love you. All of our trans ancestors, you're the reason. Miss Marsha P. Johnson, you're the reason. We can't just pretend like the month of Pride is about ignoring Black trans, Black GNC, Black femmes, Black women of all genders, Black femmes of all genders. We can't dishonor you like that. You're the reason why Pride exists in the first place. Look at this. He's encircled twice. Woo!
This is DJ Blossom. Her Instagram is Alora Love, ALORLUV, Alora Love on Instagram. Please tag at We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For. Please tag at Queer Art Center. Please tag at CGI Justice. ALURA.
That was all good.
LUV, Alora Love.
Oh my God. This right here. For y'all who don't know, this is how we get down. Let me go over and see what Jeanette is feeling. All right now.
That's my daughter, y'all.
Janetta, how y'all feeling? Guess what? There's so many cars that we wrapped around the lake twice, so that we've got 2 circles of cars going around right now. You are on live stream on YouTube. You tell us how you feel.
Very happy and excited. This is like the first opportunity that we have been able to pull away from participating in shelter in place and supporting trans, Black trans, GNC people into getting into shelter in place. And it's exciting to be here. It's exciting to honor Black, femme, queer, trans, all women, all. It's exciting and emotional and very overwhelming.
Yeah, I was gonna call Miss Major, Miss Mama Major. I'm not trying to hurt Miss Mama. With all of this excitement, we'll send it afterwards.
Yeah.
We'll send it afterwards. Oh my God. So we've got a film crew out here. Yeah, I have no idea. Yes, you better stop. You better stop. Yes. Okay, so here's what's up. I don't know how much gas people have in their cars, but there's so many cars. We are just now getting to round 2.
Thank you all for your donations. Please support. Thank you all so much.
Whose lives matter? Black lives. Whose lives matter? All Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? All Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter?
No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. No justice.
I feel like dancing.
Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. Whose lives matter?
You're welcome to come through.
Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. 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 Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Give it up, y'all, for DJ Blossom.
Come into the stage, give them what you got. Where these girls are found? Where when I need the most to look around, they know where to be found. Where that I'm first, but ain't no stopping it. Where I keep the going like Sonic did. And I said that if I don't speak it, force the kids, I chop the kids to body kid. I said these girls are key. Where these girls are try. I said they stand for me, but when I come for them,
I don't want to blow your eardrums out.
like when the one that
it's just so beautiful.
Competition average. Where did I the shit you wish you had, bitch? No need to
this is what it looks like. We can't be in a space of complacency when we know that people are being slaughtered and no one is caring to say their name. So what we're doing is we're saying her name. We're saying his name. We're saying their name. We're saying our name. We're saying her name. Or as Miss Major would say, for those of us who are still here, she's still here. She's still here, so we gotta do this.
Ain't gonna give them that satisfaction. I'm the blank face that very motherfucker and just thinking about reaction. The black one jack. All about a little guy. Feel why I jump back to the trap. No information. Why they not for the shoot my competition basis. Spread it out to the mistake. You wish you could hit the black of both the guy and the black of the so high. Where's our listen up? Where you try to come? Where did I put it up? Where the scary? So I pay a bill? Better go there. You wait at my shit. I try to keep it curious, right? There was they want to see me act up. They want to see a motherfucker. They want to see me act up. See a motherfucker. The man with the big red top.
Black women and children, LGBTQ plus lives matter. Oh, I love that song. Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna have to take a break. But before I take a break, thank you. Thank you. Is it okay that we're live streaming? Thank you. Is it okay that we're live streaming? Yes. Thank you. And why are you out here, honey? Why are you here? Why are you here? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes! She wants to make a change.
Thank you. Thank you. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Don't worry. Just do your thing. Just
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
Don't work.
We
Okay,
need
just
more
do your
mothers
thing.
like
Just
you.
work. Oh,
And we
work.
need more
Don't
like you to
work.
step up.
Yeah.
And all
Thank
of
you all for your
mothers
support.
of all genders,
Every
fathers of
little
all
bit of
genders.
support matters. Thank
You
you
know,
all so
guardians
much.
of all genders, come out and support these babies. Thank you, love. Yes! Yes! Okay. I need to get a drink of water. So beautiful. So people are, wow, I just, we're gonna sign off for a bit now. But before I do, I know we're supposed to practice physical distancing, so I'm trying. I'm trying.
We working on it.
We love you. Thank you.
If you're missing
Thank
an
you.
iPhone that was found in the grass, it's up at the DJ booth. Come check it out. If you can unlock
Matter
it,
is the minimal. Matter is the minimal. That right there, matter is the minimal. Yeah, that's the way you do it. You get up in Oh my God. Okay, are you tired yet? There's some folks who are like, we could do this every Saturday. I'm like, all right. All right. This is beautiful. Why not? Can we go to the beach next time? Let's hit up different locations. Hey girl, my booty out. I didn't realize.
If you're in the car, I need y'all to honk them horns. Honk them horns the whole way through, please. Honk them horns if you in the car. Can you hear me?
Did you see that? And then after everyone takes their rotation, folks are invited to come back and continue with the party across the street. So right now, I think that what I'm going to do is sign out because I need some water. All of a sudden, I need some water. Please support TGIJP. TGIJP. You can go to tgijp.com.org and make a donation.
I see y'all doing your thing.
Make a donation.
Go ahead and turn up for
Let's
all
take
Black
all this
lives.
beautiful energy and turn it into housing for Black trans women. Let's do that.
Who lives matter? I said, who lives matter?
Let's support the Queer
Who
Healing
lives
Arts Center
matter?
and most of the artists. that
Go
have
ahead and
worked
show out
with
then. Go ahead and show out one time for all Black Lives
Okay,
Matter.
this is
Do your
our
thing.
This is our
DJ
Queer Art
Bubbles.
Center in Oakland. And this is how we see creative energy being best used. We're not going to put it on the walls and make it for public limited consumption. Instead, we're going to put it on a sign, baby, until we all are free. I know, it's like so beautiful. Okay, we're back. Janetta would like to share something.
Hello, everybody. This has been a very exciting day. We have been working our ass off supporting Black trans community in the city and county of San Francisco, keeping them in shelter in place, supporting them in finding permanent housing. All Black lives matter, all Black women lives matter, all Black queer trans lives matter. We're so happy and excited to be here. We ask for your continued support. We ask that you just continue to show up for the community.
David, if you can report to the DJ booth. David, if you can report to the DJ booth.
We're also working our trans cultural history information center, and we have our walls full of Black trans history and some of the amazing things that they've contributed to this work, this movement. Me, Claire, and Jasmine, who is our legal director. My name is Janetta Johnson. I'm the executive director. This is Claire, who's our housekeeper.
Let's support Black trans in prison. Let's get them out of there.
Yes.
We need to get them out of there.
Yes. Yes.
Get them out of there. They are being hurt, they are being raped, and they are being put in situations they don't need to be in. Let's get them out of there.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly, Jasmine. Exactly. Oh, y'all. This is absolutely beautiful. So this is how we make things make sense. All of us. And you can see that Oakland was run for this. We have people that came from all over, and they're still going around in circle, y'all. Still, I think this is like the second circle because there's so many cars. We're grateful for this. So this art gallery that we are talking about is going to be both in SF and in Oakland. In Oakland, it will be at the Queer Healing Arts Center, and we're so delighted that TGIJP out there.
Give it up for DJ Blossom! At Alora Love, if you want to find her on Instagram, follow her. At Alora Love. Don't work. Don't work. Do your thing right now, like a church I said, don't work. Don't work. Do your thing right now, like a church I said, don't work. Don't work. Do your thing right now, like a church I said, don't work. Don't work. Alora Love, let me see you just work. DJ Blossom, y'all.
Give it up for DJ Blossom.
Up next, we got DJ Erica Kane, who's also a New World Disorder. Give it up for her. Give it up for our Black trans DJs all over the world. DJ Erica Kane came all the way from LA to be out here with us today. Someone get me a poster and a marker so we can get her Venmo up here, please.
What's up, everybody? This is DJ Erica Kane. If trans Black Lives Matter, make some motherfucking noise.
Period. Let's go.
You're trying to come for me. Do you want a piece of his pussy? Let me see. You're trying to come for me. Now I'm the one you just can't fuck with. I want to see. You're trying to come for it. And I'm here. And I do you see how much you want to be like me? Step to my rabbit. Step to my rabbit. Step to my rabbit. Step to my rabbit. Step to my rabbit.
Dig.
The chills that you feel on my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of your fun. I couldn't dance for another. No, I couldn't dance for another. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, don't leave the break. My cup of this, my pocket that's wet. Bring it, baby. I couldn't dance for another.